thank you so much for joining on my channel. If you haven't already, make sure that you push the subscribe as well as that little bell next to it so that you do not miss any of these amazing interviews with these badass women that I am meeting with all of the last 6 months of 2022. I am so excited about it. And today we have Rose, who I am so excited to talk to more in depth because I have had a front row seat to her growth this last year. Hey, Rose, how are you?
I am good.
So tell me a little bit, tell all of us what your kind of views on entrepreneurship. I know you're very new to it. So tell us a little bit about your background. If you like seeked out entrepreneurship or if it kind of just fell in your lap, tell us a little bit about your story.
It's definitely new. I wasn't looking for it at all. I really was just looking for a job. And then I was able to, within the company that I was working, I was able to find that I could do so much more. And it kind of just rolled into this entrepreneurship, which I'm just getting started with. And I'm honestly super excited to keep going with. I have to keep putting my foot on the gas pedal to get it going.
I mean, I was honestly the same way. I was just looking for a job. I was a stay-at-home mom for 3 years before that. I'm like, okay, he went back to school. Now what? So I was looking for something different and jumped right in and then all of a sudden things happened and changed. And then of course the pandemic happened. And for me personally, I got put into a situation where I was like, okay, well, I need to provide for my family. And I wasn't working anymore. So I was like, well, what do I do? How do I figure this out? And I was able to take all the skill sets that I learned over the X amount of years that I had been working in business and been able to then figure out how to be able to make a business. And I think that women as a whole are really good at multitasking and problem solving and being able to figure out what others can't, but being able to use your skill sets. And I think it is just as you get better with your skill sets and showing up as an authority in this space before you're an actual authority in this space is really where you'll be able to find that success in entrepreneurship as a whole. But what you had just said in the sense of I just got to put my foot on the gas pedal is 100% spot on, because people just starting off need to realize like it's not just going to fall in your lap. You have to work really, really hard for it every single day and we're able to show up consistently and take accountability for all the things and realize that it's not just going to kind of fall in your lap. I think that's super cool. What are some of the challenges that you have been kind of facing?
The biggest challenge, honestly, has been, I guess, the steps on where to go, because I know what I want to do exactly, but it's just about those steps to get me to there. So figuring out my next steps is honestly the biggest challenge that I have. I think that's something that I really have to work hard at because, like you said, it's not just going to fall into my lap. I have to figure it out. So that's honestly going to be the biggest thing for me this year to work on, is to find those steps that are going to work for me to be able to get to what I want to do. And that's to be able to have more and not exactly spend as much time on everything and have my own time to do all the traveling that I like to do and spend time with my family and all those things and not have to worry about money, because I've made all those steps to make it to where I need to be set. And I'm just going to keep pushing and make sure that I do that.
Is that something that drives you, is more like free time?
Yeah, I mean, I have a 6-year-old little brother who I care for a lot. So I'm with him 24/7. So having that free time to watch him grow up and to be with him is a big reason why entrepreneurship is such a great idea for me, because it's going to give me that opportunity to be able to spend time with him. But I also love to travel and being able to set my own hours, my own schedule, and have the money to be able to travel is going to be great. I'm not going to have to panic and have to write down, oh, well, can I afford this? Can I do this? Can I take this time off? Because I'm going to be making my own schedule. So it's going to be up to me if I want to do it.
Oh my God, you're speaking my language. Honestly, I mean, my love language is travel. So I get it 100% that I want to be able to travel all the time. And I'm not there in my business yet where I can just like travel 24/7. I mean, my kids are in school too, but so I guess can't do that. But that's definitely like a dream of my husband's and I, is to really be able to travel wherever we want. We have our like bucket list of places we want to be able to go to, which is just so cool. But also, I mean, if you can't enjoy all the moments, what are we doing? Like, what's the point? You know, so I think that what you just said in the sense of like being able to be present and not worrying about the money that goes with it, I think is really important, because especially as like newer entrepreneurs are just getting started, is it's always like, I want to be my own boss. I want to be able to make endless amounts of money, but it's not that way starting off, right? Like you have to be religious almost with your time. And I mean that in such a way as like, we as humans are programmed to be on a schedule. And we learn this from a very, very young age before we even like realize it. Our parents put us on a schedule, right? It's like, okay, it's lunchtime. Okay, it's, you know, nap time, whatever. And you get put on the schedule. And then when you go to school, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, now is recess. Now we do math. Now we do this. And it's consistently every day. And so you don't even realize that you're now being programmed to get on a schedule. Well, when you get into entrepreneurship, nobody is putting you on a schedule besides yourself. So I think like if you can come up with your own schedule and your own rhythm that works for you, and you mentioned that earlier, is like what work, like the next steps that work for you. I think that that's really where most entrepreneurs either will succeed and move forward, or other people actually like take a lot more time to find their rhythm to be able to get things off the ground, because they can't get into that type of schedule that works for them. And I think it is holding yourself accountable for your own actions. And did you take action today? Or did you let another day pass by where you didn't do anything for yourself and to get you closer to those goals? And it is very, very important as an entrepreneur to have those kind of like set things and hold yourself accountable, because nobody else is holding you accountable. I think that is a challenge that a lot of people don't necessarily talk about, is that like schedule aspect of how you work. And I know I personally work really well with like a planner, and getting it out of like just my mind and my phone and like all the things. But even though I use like a scheduler on my computer and in my system, I then still write it hard paper. And I was actually just talking to my mom yesterday, and was telling her how my kids this upcoming school year are going to be on totally different schedules. And I'm like, I will not be able to come up with a rhythm. I don't know how this is going to work. And that's just me, is I'm always kind of like panic first and then I'll figure it out, because that's just, I've got to, right? I don't have another option but figure it out. And so she's like, you've always been somebody that needs a schedule. And I'm like, yes, as soon as I have a schedule, as soon as I have a rhythm, as soon as I have like, the actions that I need to take, I take it and I'm good. But until I know what that is, like my mind kind of freaks out. It needs to catch up with like what I can actually do. And it's so true. Anytime I take on a new task, anytime I do anything, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't have enough time. Oh, wait, here. Oh, look, I did it. Okay. I have my system now. I'm good. Okay. You know, so I don't know if you're the same way, but
yeah, for sure. I mean, structure is huge. I like to put a lot into my days too. So I do have a planner, but I also just use a regular notebook and write down all of the stuff that I have going on and stuff that I like in between that I have to do, so that I know what I'm doing and I'm not missing anything, because I am forgetful. So being able to just, while I'm on my computer, while I'm doing my work, it's all right there. So I know exactly what I have to do, and I can just jam pack everything into at one time. So then I have that rest of the day, that rest of the time to be with my family or go to the grocery store, whatever it is that I have to do, because I already got everything that's needed that's going to pay me out of the way.
What are your goals for the last 6 months of 2022? What are you working for?
My biggest goal is to be able to get that next step to get a house. That's my biggest goal for the end of this year, is to get a house, and honestly making those steps to be able to have my own business. So I can make more money and have more time to myself. And honestly use the skills and all the knowledge that I've learned and been given and pass them along, because I've learned a lot and I have a lot to teach. So I really just want to give back.
Oh my gosh, I love that, Rose. I love that. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I've learned a lot about you, but again, I get a front row seat to your growth every single day, and I love it. So I'm super fortunate, but I'm glad that other people are getting to learn a little bit more about you as well. I think you're going to be like that up and comer this next year. I think it's going to be really cool to see you just kind of soar and take off, and what you're going to be able to accomplish. I can't wait to interview you again like this time next year and see kind of where you're at. It's going to be so crazy. Well, thank you so much again. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel and push that little bell, because I'm talking with some serious badass women for the last 6 months of this year, and I don't want you to miss anything. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.